Hello everybody, and welcome to this special Saturday presentation where I'm going to be talking about a guide to inner self-living. So this is a guide that I am personally going to be using as we move into the point of no return come December 21st, 2020. There have been quite a few people that have asked me about what I am going to be doing around that time. As I've talked about, I'm going to be taking a personal hiatus for a duration of 1 month between December 8th and January 8th. I am still going to be doing my videos, my presentations, my webcasts during that time, but I'll be taking time off from doing any sessions during that time. A lot of my time, a lot of my energy is going to be focused on the inner self-living that all of you are going to be experiencing today. Now, at the end of the presentation, I'll be doing a Q&A for everybody on the YouTube live chat. We won't be going through announcements or meditation or anything of that nature today. It really is just going straight into the presentation itself. So it is a PowerPoint presentation that I'll be pulling up here momentarily. So again, if you guys do have any questions relating to some of the practices and education that is contained inside this presentation, then again, you'll have the opportunity to ask questions when we get to the end. So hello to everybody on the live chat. Thank you very much for being here today. And we'll go ahead and get started on a guide to inner self-living. All right. So the purpose of this guide. If you choose to follow the knowledge within this guide, you will learn simple methods to balancing out the trinity of your being, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. It is our strength and determination that manifests our success. Through your will, the techniques shown in this presentation will aid you well in creating an entirely new person, immune to the conflict of the world. The choice is always yours to make. All right. So again, this guide is simply that. It is being a helpful guide. If you choose to incorporate all of the teachings, practices, and methods that are contained inside this guide. But again, this has been something that I have been working on personally for quite some time, and I'm happy to share that with all of you because again, people really want to see how they can go into the inner self. People really want to see how they can connect with their greater selves and start working together in that way, bringing love energy, accumulating love energy into yourself. Well, in order for us to bring love energy in, we have to understand what is keeping it at bay. And that, of course, is what we're going to explore in this presentation today. And of course, that starts off with understanding the lack in life. So, what is it that really triggers the accumulation of lack within our lives? For many of us, it can be parents, it can be family, it can be siblings, it can be conditional friendships. I'll like you if you're like this, or I'll hang out with you if you're like that. It's schooling and conditioned education, teachers, right? Teaching us again only a fragment about what life represents and teaching us more so about the materialistic side of life rather than the spiritual. It is media. It is programming, mainstream media, the radio, the newspaper, the internet, television. It is food and diet. It is personal health. All right. So again, this can be bad food that we're eating. This can be us not taking care of our bodies. This can be us again not exercising, just not taking care of the physical body. The physical body is again just completely in shambles because we don't want to take care of it. We're burdened by other things and we think it's too much of a burden to take care of it ourselves. It is our jobs. It is our career, right? We're just doing our work to make a paycheck. We're just trying to get by. We're just trying to make ends meet. We're trying to survive another day. And that too is not living. That produces lack. It's our finances. Again, if we feel that we're just scraping the bottom of the barrel, if we don't feel we deserve to make more than minimum wage, then again, that's our own value. We're seeing our own value. We're seeing our own openness at work And there's closed doors everywhere. That too is going to make an impact on lack. It's world affairs. What's happening in the world right now? All of this is happening. All this chaos is happening in the world. What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to me? Again, that too represents lack. So all of these things, and it's not just these things, there can be other things as well too, but these are some of the main points of what I have witnessed, because I have worked with thousands of clients all over the world for the past 12 years. And these are the common things that come up in our conversations about, well, why is a lack in my life? Well, this is exactly what it is. Right? Like I said, there could be a few other things, but these are the main categories. The effect of lack. Struggling for acceptance, whether it's family, whether it's friends, co-workers, teachers, we're trying to get approval from them. We want acceptance, we want approval. Come on, your mom, dad, I'm going to work my butt off so that you'll be proud of me. I'll show my best friend what I can do. I'll show my co-workers and I'll show my teachers, I'll show my boss that I'll work so super hard. And then, of course, you just keep stumbling over your own feet. You just keep tripping, right? Because we're trying to impress them. We're trying to get their approval. We need a merit badge from them and saying, if I work this hard, or if I do this job, even though I absolutely hate it, hey, at least I'll get a little bit of respect from the family, from the friends, from coworkers, from teachers, from bosses. At least I'll get that little bit of respect. At least I'll hold on to that. At least I have that. At least I have a little gold star I can put on my chest. And that'll make everything better. No, it won't. It'll be a satisfaction that'll last about 5 or 10 seconds. And you realize that's not what it's about. It is not about trying to impress somebody, trying to get their approval. All right? That is only going to lead to lack. Victimization and blame. All right, it's not my fault that I failed. It's this person's fault. This person told me to do it. That person said that I should go ahead and do this, and this and that and this and that, and fingers pointing everywhere. Victimization and blame. I'm the victim here. I'm the victim to these circumstances. It's not my fault. And then we point the finger and we play the blame game. All right, this is again the effect of what lack has brought us. Emotional, mental, physical abuse, and control tendencies. Okay, so we put up with being abused. We put up with being insulted. We put up with being attacked, right? We put up with being emotionally damaged, right? And we have to use control tendencies to try and prevent ourselves from going back into looking at that abuse as a means of trying to heal it. So again, we create control. Don't talk about that. Oh, this person said this, I'm triggered. Oh, this person said that, I'm triggered. I'm offended. Don't talk about that, right? This again is just representation of the insecurities that we have within ourselves from the effect of lack, is that we have been hurt, we have been abused, we have been trampled upon, and we create this little control grid within ourselves. And people can only say certain things to us. People can only be with us for a certain amount of time. I can only hang around with these kind of people because I can't stand these other people. They drive me crazy. I want to throw something at them. Okay? We get into those control tendencies as an effect of lack. Dependency towards others, labeled as greater than ourselves. Okay? This is where we get dependent. This is where there's abandonment. All right? And we become dependent, saying, come on, please, just do this work for me. Right? Take care of this for me. Bring love to me for me. Right? Advance myself for me. Right? We just get into this idea of saying, somebody else do it. Somebody else take care of that. I don't want to do it. I don't want to move into higher alignment. Somebody else do it for me. Okay? That again is the effect of lack. We have hopeless dependency upon the government, upon our parents, upon our family, upon our friends, upon our co-workers, upon teachers, experts, etc. Right? Come on, just go ahead and do this for me. I don't want to do this. There's just too much work. I don't know if I can do this. Right? That's not you talking at all. The effect of lack that you see here is not you. It is the essence of the ego. It is the essence of the lack that is using ego as the puppet to try and tell you that you have to behave in this way. Okay? When you act as any of this, this is not you. This is basically the anti-you. Okay? So we're going to be getting to that. Isolation and depression, which again relates to the idea of dependency, right? We get so much dependency and we start to become apathetic. We just don't care about anything that much. We're feeling defeated. We feel burned out. We had all this drive within us, but it doesn't work. We keep tripping over our own feet. We tumble down the hill and we become apathetic. Hey, let's go out on a trip. Oh, I don't care. Let's go and do this thing today. I don't care. Right? You can go and meet your best friend today. I don't care. Okay? It all comes down into the state of apathy and defeat. And that is all from the idea that you are burnt out, that you are physically, mentally, emotionally burnt out. And the funny thing is, apathy is actually the greatest emotion of them all. It's apathy. Because in that sense, you have been so completely defeated that you have become apathetic because you were so emotional. So people who become apathetic are the most emotional people of all. Anger and hostility to everyone and everything. All right, this is where we're lashing out. We're lashing out at everybody because it's everybody else's fault. It's not ours. Mental degradation, unhealthy beliefs, and closed-mindedness. All right. So again, when we're closed-minded, when we just put all these barriers around ourselves and saying, I don't want to do this, you go ahead and do that. No, the government's going to take care of me, or this person's going to take care of me, and I don't need to do anything else, right? And you're just feeling flustered. Your mind is just filled with belief systems. It's filled with addictions. It's filled with bad habits. It's this degradation of the mind. And we, of course, lead into debilitating health and chronic illness, right? Our body starts getting out of shape. It starts becoming out of alignment. We start getting chronic conditions. We start getting ill. We start having a compromised immune system. We start having our vitality fade away, right? Physical deterioration and loss of vitality. So again, all of this is the effect of lack. This is what happens when we bring lack into our lives, right? So we saw in the previous slide how it was able to accumulate, and now we're seeing what lack actually does. Well, why is this important? We have to find out what we're putting our energy towards. We have to be aware about what type of energy we decide to accumulate within ourselves. And many of us, I would say almost everybody on the planet, is choosing a lot more lack, right? And now, to where things are shifting, there is actually going to be a lot more love on the planet. But we'll be getting to that in a little bit. Lack is accumulated. We are not born into the world with lack. It is accumulated through us because of one thing: sympathetic resonance. As infants, we are a clean slate, devoid of any mental or emotional conflict as we enter the world. We are fresh to this world. Yet the environment stimulates us within the womb and when we emerge from it. What we give relationship to becomes the sympathetic resonance we solidify within ourselves. It is a process to the way we feel, think, and act. Lack is an unnatural resonance, yet we are conditioned by it while in the womb and when we emerge. The modern human environment is saturated with the resonance of lack. We are exposed and we become programmed to accumulate it. Now again, certain human environments can vary, but a lot of where we are and how we are not able to bring into a greater prosperity into ourselves is because of what we have put our energy into relating to the people and the environment within our space. So our environment is compromised. The people that take care of us is compromised when we are just that little baby, right? And that again is where lack is accumulated. When a parent is saying no and yelling at their child, right? That child is now in tears, right? And now they are absorbing all of that. They don't know how to defend themselves. They're like a sponge. And so we start absorbing all of this lack when a parent is shouting at their child or yelling at them, right? And basically that parent is flustered themselves. And here's the funny thing. It's not even really the parent's fault, right? This is exactly what they have accumulated, and they don't know how to advance themselves past this feeling of being flustered, of being bogged down, of feeling that they are defeated, right? They have no support within themselves. And when there's no support whatsoever, then they're going to be very unsupportive towards their child. I mean, I can even relate to that with my own upbringing as well, too, where I had basically dualistic parents. I had one very aggressive and I had one very passive, right? So again, this is what can create disharmony in the entire environment. And it's not until we get older that we start to discern, and we have to start working together with all these things that have impacted us big time in our past to help rectify it, to bring it into love, right? But again, lack is an accumulation energy, right? You're not born into this world as a curse, okay? It's about sympathetic resonance. It's like what you see here, the image of the two tuning forks in the two wooden boxes, and you take that little hammer and you hit one of them, and it starts to vibrate, it starts to oscillate, and the other tuning fork that is similar in that frequency starts to pick up that oscillation and vibration, and now it oscillates and vibrates in kind, okay? It's as I've talked about in a previous video, that it really isn't so much about the nature of karma as it is more about sympathetic resonance, because sympathetic resonance is what gives birth to our actions, okay? All karma is actions. So when we're looking at sympathetic resonance, this is the essence behind our actions. This is our feelings. These are our thoughts. These are our choices that therefore lead into our actions and therefore bring result as a result of those actions. So sympathetic resonance is truly the key behind everything, okay? This is why, again, as I've talked about, that karma is self-imposed. It is not something about saying that, oh, I have negative karma and it's permanent and I'll never get rid of it. Nonsense, right? Everything is changeable, okay? You have milestones that you are going to meet in life. I would refer to that as major arcana, okay? Just like if I'm using tarot references here. The tarot, right? There is major arcana and there is minor arcana, okay? Minor arcana are things that you can really connect to, but there's a flexibility there, right? You're able to resolve them quite quickly, and you may not even have to experience the manifestations of situations relating to those minor arcana. But then there's major arcana. There's something that you really do have to work with, something that's very, very important for you to meet a milestone, because this is what you have put into your own life. You've put this big, gigantic milestone here saying, I have to learn to love. I have to learn to really value myself, to open myself up, to go on an inner path, to do the work that really fulfills me, right? That's a major arcana. I can't really avoid that, but I can make peace with it. I can harmonize it, right? So at first, I may get caught off guard. I may be very, very challenged by what that major arcana of karma represents, but I'm able to surrender myself and I'm able to understand, okay, I get it now. This is what I've put forward for myself. I want to be in harmony. I want to make peace with what I've done in the past. I need to forgive that, and I'm going to move forward and develop this inner education. Great. There's an example of a major arcana that you have made peace with, right? There's a lot of Eastern traditions that feel that if you have some sort of gigantic karma, it's almost impossible for you to rectify that. And I don't agree with that at all, right? Everything can be rectified because everything's relative. The only absolute is God, right? So again, everything is truly relative, no matter how impossible something seems. Even where there's great improbability, there is still possibility within that improbability, right? So again, that's just something extra I wanted to throw in. Resolution to lack. Fire cannot be extinguished by fire. Lack does not resolve lack. Yet many of us use hostility and demand through our heightened emotional and mental imbalances to try to rectify it. Attempt this and you will fail. Okay, pretty direct there, but this is the truth. As lack is an unnatural resonance within life, our only resolution to it is to work with its opposite, and that opposite is the accumulation of love. All right, and of course, like I said, talk to a lot of people over the world, And people, again, know that they have a lot of this lack within themselves, but they're trying to put up their dukes, right? They're trying to fight it. They're trying to punch it. They're trying to kick it. They're trying to light fire to lack that's already there. I'm so sick of this lack. I'm so sick of this life. I'm so sick of doing all this stuff. I'm so sick about the state of the world. I'm so sick about the people in my life. I'm so sick. I'm so sick. I'm so sick. Well, what you have just done is that you've taken a fan to a bonfire. All right, you've taken one of those large unfolding fans, you put it on a pole, and you're fanning the flames just by you saying that. All right. And again, it's important for you to know this, right? We can all say that we're sick and tired of this, right? Now, that sick and tiredness can lead into a resolution, right? We move into a resolution because we're saying, okay, well, if I know I'm sick and tired of this, I'm going to start moving into resolve. And that resolve is about taking action against this, but not fighting it at the same level to where it exists. A resolution will only come when you are above the problem. Okay, if you are facing the problem, it's like trying to pass through a brick wall. Okay, you're going to hit your head, you're going to smash yourself right into the brick wall every single time. Okay, doesn't matter how determined you are. You're going to smack right into that brick wall and say, no, I can get past this. I can get past this problem. And you go full head of steam, smash, right? It's like watching Looney Tunes and Wile E. Coyote smashing into a brick wall again and again and again, right? Having all these disasters happen to him. Well, that's exactly the nature of lack, right? We cannot defeat lack by being lack ourselves. We have to move above it. Now, this is where people talk about protection, okay? I get a lot of people, especially over the years, saying, Brad, I got this new crystal. I got this new technology. I got some doodad here, some gizmo that'll help me to get past this lack. I said, okay, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just going to focus on the crystal. As long as I have this crystal in my hands, then I'll get past the lack. All right. Well, that's cute. It's very nice. But no, that's not the answer. Okay. It's not about relying on the nature of technology, right? You have to understand the lack. It comes from inside, right? Because there's nobody else in your reality that's creating this lack. This is your lack, right? This is your imprint. This is your brand of lack. And I don't care if you got some big, gigantic, fancy crystal. Oh, but Brad, hey, hang on a second. You haven't seen my amethyst. Look at this. Look at this beauty, right? And all I do is just hold it up like this, and then lack gone. Okay. All right. That's very cute. That's very adorable. Let's put the crystal down for a minute. All right. Do you believe that you are able to resolve the lack? Oh, sure, through this crystal. No, that's not what I mean, right? You are resolving the lack by making peace with it. Oh, why would I make peace with it? Well, there you go. That's your problem, right? So I don't care if you got a super doodad magic crystal. I don't care if you got a Muse headset that you're putting onto yourself and going into these deeper states of meditation. If you do not see peace with your lack, you're never going to get through it. Okay? It's a brick wall. Bam, bam, bam. You're going to smash into it every single time because you're not making peace with it. Rather than saying, I'll use a crystal and I'll shine my He-Man powers or my She-Ra powers to it. And it'll be destroyed and blown up. But you can't make peace with it. Of course not. Why would I make peace with it? It needs to die. It needs to be destroyed. That's not the idea, okay? Anytime that we give power to anything that we feel is beyond ourselves, you are enslaved by it, okay? You are enslaved by your lack because you can't make peace with it, right? Well, what about other people, Brad? What about other people that are going through? You're not living their life. It's not your responsibility to take care of other people. This is not about other people. You immediately shift out of yourself and thinking that other people have to be taken care of. All right? There is no other person. There's only you. Right? It starts with you. And I get this all the time. But Brad, why? What about other people? What about other people that are going through this? Are you in their shoes? Are you in their universe? Are you in their soul to take care of them? No, you're not. So you're not concerning yourself about other people. You have to take care of yourself first. You have to look into your own resolutions to therefore forgive and make peace with lack so that you can now accumulate love, right? So I get that so much about the idea of if people will need my help and I have to take care of them. It's very much like what Adronis said in the 2021 video, that if you have a rotten foundation and you cannot even take care of yourself, how do you think you're going to take care of somebody else? You are inadequate to the job. Now, when Buddha and when Jesus was on this planet, these are two of the most enlightened masters that have ever existed. And not one time did they ever feel that they needed to hoist 100 or 1,000 people up on their shoulder and take them into the light. Not one time did they ever do that. And these are two of the most enlightened masters that has ever lived. So, if they didn't have to do that to move themselves into greater states of consciousness, what makes you think that you need to? Can you answer that? Because you know why? Because it's another state of control. You feel that you have to take care of everybody else. You feel that you have all the answers. You feel that you have all the light flowing through you, and you need to stack up people. You need to put them on your shoulders, and you need to do a 500-meter sprint into a light portal. Give me a break. Okay? That's not the idea. Jesus and Buddha never did anything like that. And they are two of the most enlightened people that ever lived. What makes you think you have to do that? You don't. That's the simple answer, right? You put this towards other people and saying, oh, but I need to wake these people up. No, because you're only responding with arrogance. Because you feel that you have all the answers and you feel that they don't have any answers. You feel that you have to make the choices because other people don't make the choices. That is arrogance. And that is ignorance, right? It is not up to you to save the world. Okay? It is not up to you to bring responsibility to other people, because all you're basically telling them is that, well, you guys are screwed up. You guys are all effed up here. You're all messed up. I got all the answers. The light's shining down on me, brother. So I'm going to hoist you up, and I'm going to take you into this portal. And then you'll be enlightened just like me. You see the arrogance? You see the ignorance? Because that's exactly what it is. All right? And there's a lot of New Agers, there's a lot of the spiritual community that are just like that. And it's sad, right? The whole idea here is that you are here to go into a state of self-correction. You are making your resolution to lack. You are accumulating love. And when you truly get there, because there are those of us who have not gotten there, you will realize that the ability of trying to save other people is not the way. And you will only understand that when you're actually accumulating love into yourself, right? If that was the case with all the love that I'm accumulating into myself, I'd be hoisting up my neighbors right now, right? I'd be going around the city just hoisting up as many people, trying to throw them into my car and say, there's a light portal. There you go, guys. I'll drive you into it because I'm your savior. No, that's a bunch of nonsense, right? And that is arrogance and ignorance. So we got to get past that programming, because that's just another type of programming. In fact, that's what many of these infiltrated circles do, is they try to completely puff you up and fill you with all this nonsense of feeling that you're here to save the world, you're the Messiah, you're the Savior, you need to save your parents because they won't understand you, and all this crap, right? And it's crap is exactly what it is, all right? You are just here to be the shining light example of who you are, all right? You present yourself, you share ideas, you negotiate, you work together with people, you assist, you guide, all right? You do not grab people up by their ankles and hoist them up over yourself and thinking you got to come with me because you're too dumb to make any decisions for yourself and you're just going to move yourself into chaos. So I guess I have to take care of, do everything for you. No, that's a bunch of nonsense. All right. So that is part of the lack you need to get out of your mind. Right? The savior complex. Get that out of your mind. That is nothing but a psyop distortion. Okay? You are your own savior. You're the one that's taking care of yourself. You're the one that's correcting yourself. You're the one that's accumulating love. And you are going to be that shining light example. Now, when you walk out the street just being your natural, loving, authentic self, others will see this. They will come to you and they say, hey, Joe, hey, Jenny, what's with you? There's such a love to you that I'm feeling. There's something really, really special about you. I can't really put my finger on. What have you done? Oh, come with me and I'll talk to you about it. Yes. Ding, 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 ding. Right? That's the green check mark. That's the idea. You're being the example. Okay? There's a fundamental difference between being the example and trying to be a savior. Okay? So again, it's about knowing that difference. And it's something you're only going to understand when you start bringing a lot of love energy into yourself daily. It's even about like what the great masters have said. Right? You have very, very powerful and wonderful and loving masters all over this planet. Not one of them is scooping up a bunch of people who they feel is lesser than themselves, putting them in a car and trying to feel that they have to change their life. Okay? That is a program. And that has to go because that program is lack. All right? So let's go ahead and move on. One moment. Water break. All right. So now we come into love reinforcement. Like lack, love is a resonance that we must accumulate through ourselves. Although the modern human environment holds lack, there are moments of precious love. Kindness, generosity, support, compassion, joy, excitement, charity, selflessness. These are all examples of accumulated love. Now, in that bullet point, do you guys see anything about being a savior? No. Stop trying to save people. Stop it. Okay? Be kind. Be generous. Be supporting. Be compassionate. Be joyful. Be excited. Be charitable. Be selfless. All right? That is the nature of love. All right? It is not ever coming up to a person and think, oh, that person's damaged, I have to fix them. Right? No. And as soon as we think in that way, we're impaired. Okay? That is lack talking. That is not love talking. Because love never sees a person like that. Love doesn't even see a man and a woman or a physical human body. Love only sees souls. All right? So they could be going through the worst day in their life, and you're just over here smiling at them because you see their soul. And they may not understand. They may get very angry at you, and you're just saying, I wish you well. Be well. Be amazing. Be wonderful. Love is all around you, my friend. That's it. I didn't need to pick up and scoop that person and run into a portal or try to save him because, oh, you're broken. You're broken. You're fragile. Look what you do to a person when you say those things, all right? Whenever you're in a bad mood, okay? And maybe it's your best friend that comes in and say, wow, you're really screwed up today, huh? Look at you all broken and fragile here. Ugh, you're such a mess. Come with me and I'll fix you up. What are you going to tell them? You're probably going to tell them to F off, right? So again, you have to look into what that other person is going through. Rather than saying you're broken, you're fragile, you're a mess, right? There's just pieces of you everywhere. My God, you're in turmoil, aren't you? You're broken. I need to fix you because you're broken. Arrogance, ignorance, right? See that person as perfect. See that soul as perfect. And that's what brings love into greater accumulation. Even though that person is going through their own challenges, in my eyes, they are perfect. They're a perfect soul. And all I'm doing is just being present with them. I'm not even telling them anything. I'm holding space. I'm smiling at them. And that's it. Right? Now that is divine. Now that is a loving action. Right? So again, it's getting out of this old programming that you need to save people, that you need to fix people. All right? They don't need you to fix them. They don't need you to save them. Right? Old programming of lack in disguise. Love is the natural resonance. It is effortless in its accumulation. It is very simple to love, whereas lack requires effort, right? So let's try an example right now. Right? Let's just take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, second time, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay. One more time, deep breath in. Deep breath out. And just relax yourself now. Let yourself come to center. Okay, you're feeling centered, you're feeling balanced. Now I want you to get angry. I want you to feel sad. I want you to feel fearful. In this moment. Can't do it. That takes too much effort. That takes too much energy. This takes a lot of energy and leaves you drained afterwards. So you go into a central, neutralized state of being and you try and make yourself angry or sad or fearful. All right? You're neutral. And you're realizing how much energy that takes out of you. For me to be pissed off at a person, to be angry, to be sad, to be fearful, takes a lot of energy. That's draining me. You got it. Because you're seeing it now from a neutral perspective. All right? So I want you guys to try that. Right? Whenever you feel like you're getting angry, take some deep breaths in and out. Right? Neutralize yourself. And now try to get angry again. And you're going to witness about how much energy that takes out of you to do that. It takes a great deal of effort to get angry, sad, fearful. Now, let's go back into that neutral alignment again. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Once again, deep breath in, deep breath out. And one more time, inhale, exhale. And be neutral. Okay. I want you to smirk. I want you to smile. I want you to start chuckling. I want you to start laughing. That takes hardly any effort whatsoever. Very, very little. Okay? The sensations of true reward. Really, it's effortless. Okay? This is love accumulation. Now, many people have told me, oh, Brad, just doing all this love work is just so hard. Then you're not doing love work. Okay. What you just witnessed was so simple for me to do. All right. If you guys are doing it along with me, you'll say, that was really easy. I just had to smirk. I just had to smile. I was able to chuckle. And I was able to laugh. Right? No effort. That's love accumulation, everybody. Do you see why love is so cherished by the masters, by the experts, by the teachers, by those who have realized themselves? Because this is what they spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with. Complete and total love. To smile, to smirk, to chuckle, to laugh, to feel so good and enriched inside. When a person feels completely insecure, they will chase after outward things. They will try to have material possessions. They will try to have vast fortune. They will try to fill this void of the unhappiness that is within themselves. And whenever they are completely committed to feel like they have to brighten up their lives outside of themselves, they are suffering deeply inside. All right? And that is lack in disguise again. So, when you start doing the simple things, like smirking, like smiling, chuckling, laughing, just feeling really good inside, there's just a feeling of fulfillment. because so much light is coming into your body. And I've just shown you guys, it takes no effort to do this. But I have also shown you the amount of crazy effort it takes to get angry, sad, and fearful. You can witness it for yourself by being in a neutral perspective. You have to start off with neutrality, right? You have to be in your center. If you're already pissed off and you're already angry, then you're not going to be able to notice it, right? You have to come back into your neutrality. You come into neutral space, you come into center, you take a deep breath in, deep breath out, you're in calmness. And now, okay, try and get mad. And now you'll see. Maybe you will try and get mad. You felt all the energy that it took to do that, all right? And then you get yourself neutral again. Now smile, now smirk, now chuckle, now laugh, now feel good inside. Brad, that took no effort at all. You see? You see how simple it all is, everybody? Do you see that now? It's so simple. Why don't we do it? Because we have addictions to lack. We have lack addictions. We have been hurt so much, and we put so much power into that. And as long as our head is over here, and here's lack, and all we're doing is pointing our finger and crying and getting sad and getting angry and wanting to take out that fan and completely fan those flames, making them stronger, that's all we're going to see in our life, right? But as soon as you turn the opposite direction, here's paradise, here's love, here's happiness, here's compassion, here's joy, here's enrichment, here's fulfillment, excitement. What did I have to do, guys? I turned my head. I changed perspective. I made a decision. I realigned the karma. All right? I changed the sympathetic resonance. I took out that old tuning fork that was broadcasting suffering and lack, and I threw it away. And I put a brand new tuning fork in that represents this love energy. I put it in the wooden box. I took the mallet. I hit it. And now it's vibrating. And now my tuning fork's vibrating. And I'm in sympathetic resonance with love, with happiness, with compassion, with joy. And I'm high on love. And I'm walking on clouds right now. And I feel amazing. My God, it didn't take any effort at all. All I had to do was move my head. And I took a deep breath. I neutralized myself. I started to smirk. I started to smile. I started to chuckle. I started to laugh. I started to feel good inside. That's all I have to do. Right? We are again under this psyop impression that to be spiritual is basically to put yourself through suffering. No. Spirituality in its truest form is the alleviation of suffering, all right? It's not about having to be a monk in a cave and going in there and meditating for 20 years. You don't have to do that, all right? And having your rice bowl, okay? It's not about having to be a Buddha, right? It's not about trying to feel that I have to meditate until I reach Buddha nature. Give me a break, man. That's not even what Buddha did, all right? He did it because he was in alignment to see this enlightenment, right? It was his own curiosity. It was his own thirst for knowledge that brought him into Buddhahood, all right? It's not just sitting down and saying, I'll just technically look at what the Buddha's doing, and I'll see that, he meditated under a banyan tree. I guess that's what I have to do, and I'll do it just like him. You will fail. Because all you're doing is you're looking at technicality. You're looking at outward appearances, and you're not looking at the inner journey. You're not looking at the inner processes, right? So you will reach a state of bodhisattva or Buddhahood in that way, in your own way, right? It will come in your own time because you're focusing on the inner journey. You're focusing on the inner path. You're working with the inner self. And that's what's going to bring you uniquely there. You're not here to copy Buddha. You're not here to copy Jesus. You're not here to copy Krishna or Mahavatar Babaji, or anybody else, or Paramahansa Yogananda, right? Or Lahiri Masai. None of them. You are here to follow your own unique path. Because again, we get this copycat mentality. Well, that's all Buddha did. He just went under a banyan tree and he just started to meditate. All of a sudden, boom, he's the Buddha. No, guys. No. You are misinformed if that's what you think. All right? And all Jesus had to do was just go out into a desert for 40 days and 40 nights and boom, he was this master. He was the Christ. No, guys. You are misinformed if that's what you believe. All right? It is about the idea that you are walking the inner path, that you are bringing in true love reinforcement uniquely through yourself, and you are spending time there because it feels amazing. It's your natural self, and it is effortless. All right? So let's remember that as we move on here. Rebuild the inner self foundation. If we are ready, willing, and able to say goodbye to lack in all its forms, your resolve will be the richest in reward for you. Okay? So again, this is all just part of a practice. Like I said, you may use this and you may start to develop things yourself. But all I'm sharing with you guys is what has worked for me. Okay? What is required in the building of this inner self foundation? Meditation. Okay? We need to move ourselves into calmness and reflection. We need to observe what is happening within our inner being. And that's why we're using meditation as a conduit. Okay? Meditation is simply the practice. But what you need to do first is the first bullet point. If you are ready, willing, and able, that is your resonance. Okay? Your resonance says, I'm going to take this seriously. I'm going to do this. I have felt what it's like to effortlessly love, and I'm going to put my heart and soul into this. Great. Now you can move into the requirements. Okay? So that is step 0. Step 0 is your own resonance. Your resonance to commit yourself to do this. If you're just curious about this, then that's all there is, right? But if you really want to get into this, and if you're serious about this, this is the recommendation. And again, it is just a recommendation that I share because this is what I've done. Okay? So meditation, right? We want to observe ourselves into calmness and reflection. Remember, we go into neutrality and you're able to feel what it's like to have all that energy burned from feeling lack and how you feel restored easily by feeling love. Okay? We need to look into what's inside our inner being. Okay? So that's what we do in meditation. How am I feeling? How's my body right now? How are my emotional states right now? I'm feeling pretty agitated. All right. Well, then that's going to lead us into step 2 here in a moment, right? But we're just feeling things out right now. How's my physical body? How's my emotions? How's my mentality? All right. Do I have a lot of belief systems that I'm noticing? Right? Do I feel a lot of belief systems are holding up and saying, oh, this person did this to me and I can't do this. I can't. Well, then that's all belief systems, right? Anytime you say, I can't, there's a belief system there, right? We need to watch out for that. Or you should or you shouldn't. That's a belief system. We need to look for that, all right? Your can or cannots, your should or should nots, your will or will nots, all right? If there's any conflict within that, the belief systems are there, all right? And belief systems are associated with emotions. So we're looking into not just the physical body, but our emotional and mental body as well too. We want to find where there is conflict, okay? Once we discover that, we begin a journal, all right? This is my journal, everybody, okay? And I've been using this now for a couple of years. I think it's been about 2 years, about almost 2 years now. There's a lot of entries inside this journal, right? There's times where I had to sit down and I had to document about exactly what I was feeling through meditation. And there are times where I was very much in the dark night of the soul, you could say, right? I had to realize what I was holding on to, physically, mentally, emotionally, okay? Having physical difficulties, mental and emotional difficulties. And I wrote it all down, okay? And again, you have to decide the type of writer that you are. Some of you really like detail. Some of you just want to kind of get right to the point, right? You'll do a little bold point and you'll write a few words, and that's up to you. You have to discover the type of writer that you are, okay? Because you are the writer, you are the documenter, Okay, you're the scribe. All right. So as a scribe, you want to write down when you feel afraid, sad, or angry. Okay. Journal briefly about your day, even if it's only a few sentences. I know some people don't like to write. Oh, Brad, writing is so much hard. Well, then just do it. Just do it very quickly, right? Do a bullet point, right? Do it in key words. Do it in key phrases. But again, take this seriously, okay? If you have the resonance to know that you want to do this, you'll stop at nothing to succeed, okay? You want to be the scribe. You want to be the documenter here. So you journal briefly about your day, all right? So if I'm meditating right now and I find these things out about me, well, then I'm going to put that on my page. I'm going to say, okay, I'm feeling agitated because of this. I'm feeling upset because of this situation, right? We basically try to use it in 3 emotional key words, right? Anger, sadness, fear. But if we can't get to that, we just say what's naturally on our mind, all right? I'm jealous of this person. Okay. So when you're jealous about that person, really you're angry. You're angry about that person. You're jealous about them, right? I feel defeated. I feel defeated about this. Okay, well then you're sad, all right? I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. I'm very, very anxious about this. All right, then you're afraid. Okay? So you try and put it into those 3 categories as best as you can. Your anger, your fear, your sadness. Okay? Again, the more that you focus on meditation as well too, and you can meditate on these things, right? You meditate upon that, and when you're meditating, you are calling in the inner self. Okay? You are calling in your greater being. You are calling in the higher self. You are calling in your soul. You are calling in spirit. You are calling in God. All right? And that energy will bring clarity to where you may feel you may be confused. And what I can say, guys, is when I've done my documenting, when I've done my journal, I didn't get help from anybody other than spirit, right? I did not go to anybody and saying, oh, I'm confused, I'm doing this. I didn't do that. Spirit has always been my teacher, right? I do not have a physical human teacher. And that's how it's been since I started. I looked into all these things myself. Adronis has been my teacher, yes. Spirit has been my teacher. My guidance has been my teacher. So this is what I do, and I go into it. I write things down, and maybe there's some things I'm not sure about. And I go into meditation, and I keep looking into meditation and saying, well, what is the clarity here that comes? Oh, I get it. Here's the clarity. This is what the clarity says. So again, it's having patience, okay? It's not about feeling that you need to take care of this in 5 minutes or in 1 day. It may take you even several weeks before you actually have a clarity on a situation, because you have to let yourself surrender, okay? Neutralize yourself, and you go into meditation and you document, all right? So after documenting, we go into practice, and we do the following practices here. The BCR technique, the TC technique, the black ball technique, and the 5-minute focus. Okay. Now the 5-minute focus is kind of an advanced one, but I'll be going over that very, very shortly here, because there's an alternative to it. Okay. Planning. The life foundation circle, which you'll see here in another slide. New pillars that you will erect to rebuild your life, where love is the security pillars of your new foundation. All right. So you are planning. You are drawing out a circle, and you're putting these little dots in the circle. And this is what you are creating as pillars in your new life foundation circle. Okay. So you are completely rebirthing yourself. You're completely cleaning the slate. Anything that represents the old suffering, the old lack, all that's got to go. Everything. It's got to leave you, which means there should not be a shred of lack left in you, right? And even when you're getting challenged by lack situations, you're able to reverse it, no problem. All right, lack's coming my way. I'm feeling this right now. I do the techniques. I do the practices. Gone. All right, and you stay in love. And that's what you work to do every single day. Right? It's like how a person wants to become a yoga student, right? They want to eventually become a teacher. Well, you have to be aware of all the poses, but you also have to be aware of your body. You have to be aware about what the poses do, how you're being aligned, how you're feeling inside, the body-mind connection, the connection to soul, the connection to spirit, right? The asanas. And you're willing to do that because you're committed to making this happen, okay? The same thing goes with rebuilding the inner self foundation. Commitment is what's going to make you succeed. If you're just doing this out of curiosity, then you're probably not going to go very far. You'll probably give up after a day or two, okay? So really only do this work if you are completely committed to it, if you're serious about it, and you're ready to make this happen, okay? Then, of course, there's repetition, the continuation of all that is mentioned above on a daily basis. Okay, so then we repeat meditation, documenting, practice, planning. Okay, so again, if you want to change things up, if you want to put practice first thing in the morning, then you can do practice. If you want to do meditation afterwards, you do meditation afterwards, and you do documenting, right? It's about these 5 things. Okay, well, repetition will always be 5th, right? Repetition. So it's these 4 things: meditation, documenting, practice, planning. But again, you can rearrange it, right? If I wake up first thing in the morning, I'll do the BCR technique. Okay, well, there's practice, the first thing. After I do the BCR technique, I'll meditate for a few minutes. Great. So there's a second thing. After I do a good meditation, I'll start documenting. Excellent. After I start documenting, I'll start putting some planning together with my Life Foundation Circle. I have new ideas. I have new concepts that are coming in, and I'm going to put it towards my planning. Great. And you repeat every single day. Okay? So you can always rearrange the order of these requirements. Okay, moving on. So step number 1, meditation. Right? Just as an example, if we're ordering it in this way. So I will now guide you through a simple guided meditation process, aiding you in help to feel the inner being from within. Okay, as you go within, follow the breath as you take a slow breath from 3 to 6 seconds at your own pace, and an exhaling breath that'll add at least 1 second of extra breath. Okay, but 2 seconds are recommended. No pauses between the breaths. So, for example, if I inhale for 5 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm going to do my best to exhale for 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, if I can only do 6, that's fine. All right. But if I can do 7 seconds, that's great. Now, if you want to inhale for 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So what we are creating here is heart rate variability, right? We're slowing the heart rate down, and that is moving us into calmness. All right. So with slow breath, observe your moment peacefully. This will lead to meditative reflection, the today plane, the month plane, the year plane. Whatever you discover, keep it in your memory, embed it into your awareness. And after this meditation is completed, we will go to step 2. Okay? So guys, get yourself into a nice, relaxed, comfortable posture, making sure your spine is nice and straight. You can keep your hands on your lap, or you can put it on your chest, whatever you feel you want to do. You can do a mudra as well too. That's up to you. All right? So we're going to close our eyes, and we're going to start off with the deep breathing. For my example, I'm going to do 4 seconds in and 6 seconds out. Okay? So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, and just continuing with that pace as you inhale, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Okay, 5 seconds in, 7 seconds out. Okay, whatever you want to choose here, just as long as you get that 2 seconds in the exhale. And we're just going to continue this for 1 minute, okay? And last breath. Very good. Okay. And for this demonstration, you can just relax and breathe normally now. All right. Or if you want to continue to do the deep breathing, you certainly can. So again, now that we are calm and we've moved into neutrality by working with heart rate variability breath, we're now going to scan our physical body right now. Okay. I want you just to look at the physical body first. Okay. So I just want you to start at the top of your head. And it's like you have this little beam that's slowly coming down your body, and you're just scanning your body, right? How does your head and your neck feel in this moment? How do your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your fingers feel in this moment? How does your back, your chest, your abdomen, your lower back, how does it feel in this very moment? How about your hips, your thighs, your knees, the buttocks, the genitals? How do they feel in this very moment? How about the shins, the ankles, the feet, the toes? How do they feel in this very moment? Now that you have done this scan, just burn into your memory the important highlights that you have discovered through witnessing your physical body. We will now move on to the second scan. This is the emotional and mental level, all right? So again, remember we look at I can'ts, I wouldn'ts, shouldn'ts, have to's, etc. And again, our emotional state. So we are doing the mental and emotional body together. Starting up here and just slowly going down. How am I feeling? How's my emotional body right now? Am I upset? Or rather, am I sad? Am I angry? Am I fearful? Are there those little sparks of those emotions within my body? And again, just take in what you're able to spot. Make it a highlight that you're burning into your memory right now. Okay, how about my mental body? Am I being hard on myself? Am I putting too many boundaries around myself right now? Too many coulds and couldn'ts? Too many shouldn'ts or wouldn'ts or have to's? What restrictions am I putting upon myself right now? And you're seeing them as little sparks. Okay, and you're burning that into your memory. Okay, we take another deep breath in and deep breath out. And we slowly come back into the present moment, right? Just slowly moving ourselves, slowly fluttering the eyes, slowly moving the shoulders, moving the hands, wiggling the toes, and just very gently and very slowly coming back into the present moment. Okay, so now that we have done a meditation and we've burned a lot of these things into our memory, we get a hold of our book, okay? And we open up that book, we get a pen, and we start writing. Now, I recommend that you guys write with your hands, okay? You're not doing typewriter. You're not doing keyboard. Typewriter, there's a dated reference, right? The keyboard, all right? We're not really using the computer here. It's important that we are writing this through our own hands, right? With hand to pen. So because when we do that, I think that's in the next slide as well too. Let me go in here, yeah. So with meditation complete, we go to our journal. We recommend to have a notebook and to write in your journal. Handwriting shows emotion, and the state of your mind and helps to solidify points better than simply typing or talking on a phone tablet. Now, I may have a question that says, well, Brad, I have one of those tablets where you can write with a pen. Is that okay? Sure, I'll let that be, all right? Because it's just important that you see the imprint of your own writing, all right? So if you got one of those little funky tablets with a little pen and you want to use that, go ahead, okay? But we're just writing with pen in hand, okay? In your journal, write down what you were able to discover of yourself while in meditation. What did you feel? Okay, physically, mentally, emotionally. Do not concern too much over the story of how things are. Okay, we're simply looking for emotions, fear, anger, sadness. We're looking at any mental blockages, right? Okay, I have a mental blockage to travel. I have a mental blockage to make money. I have a mental blockage in talking to my parents. I have a mental blockage about worrying so much about the state of the world right now. Okay? So those are blocks. Those are things that you are not willing to move past. Okay? It's barricaded you in. That's the mental body. Okay? I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm fearful about this. That's the emotional body. Okay? And then, of course, looking to any aches, pains, sores, tension, anything disruptive within the physical body. Okay? And we're documenting that as best as we can. So write out what you have discovered with no judgment upon yourself. We're simply documenting, and that's all, okay? Just a simple scribe work here, all right? You're not being, oh, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe this happened. No, don't go that level. You're going into lack, okay? Keep yourself neutral. This is what we do in meditation. We neutralize ourselves. We scan ourselves, okay? Later on, you will learn how to work with meditation, to talk to your inner self, to talk to guidance, to talk to spirit. Okay? But first of all, we have to look at many of the obstructions that are in our way, physically, emotionally, and mentally. So after watching this presentation today, continue to write in your journal, even point form, about events in your day. Create a highlight reel, as it were, of your day, whether situations are positive or negative. Again, don't judge, just document, okay? Just write things down. It's important. That's all part of this process. Yeah, this is what I've been doing for years. It works. Step number 3 is practice. Okay. Next, we will go to our practice for this presentation. The practices below will be brief. Okay, very brief. I'm just going to go right into them. All right. For more info on the BCR-TC technique, please view the BCR-TC technique, the practice to eliminate lack and cultivate love video. Okay. So you just type that into YouTube on the search bar. BCR-TC technique, the practice to eliminate lack and cultivate love. Okay, that's the presentation video. That's under 2 hours long. But I suggest you guys watch it because it goes right into the depth of it. Okay. I will also show you guys the black ball technique. Okay. And the 5-minute focus meditation. And of course, the 5-minute focus alternative if you guys are having a hard time focusing for 5 minutes. Okay. So let's move on. Step 4, planning. Oops, sorry. Let me go back here. All right, so we're going to do that right now then. Okay, so BCR technique. I've woken up right from bed because I'm going to remind you guys of doing this in the morning. What do I do first? Get myself nice and comfortable. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. I keep breathing until I enter that state of calmness. I'm floaty. I'm feeling really, really good. All right. I feel nice and calm. I feel nice and centered. All right. Am I ready to reinforce myself, to bring in love energy? Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay. So I go ahead and I do that now. I imagine a beautiful beach. And I see all these beautiful lights upon the beach. And they are spirit light orbs, and they are talking to me. They're sharing divine information with me. I feel the angels coming down from heaven. I feel them shining their beautiful rays upon me. I see the beautiful beach, and as its waves crash upon the shore, I feel its whispers of joy, of happiness, of love and support. It's so happy that I'm here. I see my loved ones in their higher selves, so happy to see me, sending so much love to me, so much joy and sweetness. and I am embraced by so much love. So with all of that love coming in, I put my hands right here and I'm holding a ball. And I feel that love getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I start to smile. I start to chuckle. I start to laugh. And the ball gets bigger and 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 bigger, because all this love is coming into it. Now my hands are so wide apart, I can't stretch them out any further. Great. So now I take that ball and I compress it. I compress it. I compress it into the size of a tennis ball. And all of that pure love that I have received from the positive reinforcement by going into my mind and accumulating love is inside this ball, and I put it in the chest. And I feel that love bonding with me right now. Now, what do I want to do with this love? How do I want to command it? Well, what I want to do is I just want to store this love energy into myself, to accumulate it into my organs. So that is exactly what I say to the love energy, because I see the love energy like a servant or like a genie. Love energy. Store all of your love into all of my organs, bringing them into pure vitality and pure happiness. Let it be done. And I feel it. I can feel my organs smiling back at me. My brain, my heart, my lungs, liver, spleen, kidneys, intestines, stomach, pancreas, all of my major organs just being completely energized now. I feel good. This is a wonderful way to start the morning. Amen. Okay, guys, I just demonstrated the BCR technique for you. You see how long that took me? 2-3 minutes. Okay? It's all you're doing, and it's so simple. Breath work, calmness, reinforcement. Okay? It's all I'm doing. We neutralize ourselves. Even if we feel like we're having a sour morning getting up, okay. Give yourself a stretch. Start stretching, right? Do a little bit of yoga if you have to. Get yourself nice and comfortable. Make sure you're nice and comfortable, all right? If you got a bit of a sore back, do some yoga stretches, right? Do some little bit of exercises that make your back feel flexible. We want to make sure we're taking care of our spine, all right? And we sit on our bed, or we can lay down if we want to as well, all right? BCR, breath work, neutralize yourself. You're now in calmness. Now that you're in calmness, you ready to bring reinforcement of love to? Hell yeah. All right. Reinforcement. Doing just what I did. Accumulating love energy. Putting it into yourself. Give it a command if you want. I want to manifest something beautiful today. I want to have financial abundance, an opportunity of financial abundance to come my way today. Love energy. Make it happen. Done. Right? And you watch your day. Okay? So your manifestation of love energy can be anything you want. Okay? The more that you're putting that pure, loving, genuine love energy into yourself, you're now feeling the love energy genie, the love energy servant coming in. You're commanding it. What do you want it to do for you? Whatever you want. Okay? That's for you guys to experiment with. So, now that I've done the BCR technique, I go throughout my day. Oh, there's something that I see. Maybe it's on the internet about something that bothers me. Okay? I'm feeling bothered. I'm feeling conflicted. I stop what I'm doing, all right? I turn off the computer. I stand up. If I'm with other people in the room, I go find a private space, okay? And I'm holding on to that thing that is bothering me, all right, to that conflict. So maybe I go into my bathroom, all right? Place my hands upon my chest. I start breathing. Continue to breathe in and out until you are neutralized, until you are centered, all right? So now you tell yourself, what is it that's bothering me? I saw something on the news or something on the internet and it made me feel angry. All right, so I'm feeling angry right now because of something that happened on the news. Okay, so there's anger. That's what we're working with now. We're just working with the anger. Okay, so we hold that in our hand like it's a black ball in our right hand. Okay, and now we go back into reflecting into our morning where we did the BCR technique earlier and saying, well, where's my love? How strong is my love right now? Shh. And it's like a mountain range. All right? So then we ask ourselves 2 questions. Question number 1, Is my love energy stronger than the conflict? Yes, most definitely, because I recall what I did this morning. Great. Number 2, are you ready to clear this conflict away now? Yes, I am. Good. And now you're feeling that love energy just cascading down upon that black ball, upon that conflict. The love is getting stronger and stronger because you're reminding yourself of the loving energy that you had upon yourself this morning, and it conquers the conflict. Right? You may start smiling, you may start laughing, you just start feeling good. And now while it's doing that, you say, love energy, clear away the conflict, because love is stronger than this conflict. Let it be done. And it's gone. Within seconds, you feel it leaving you. And now you do a review. You go back in time. You look at that moment where you were on the computer and you saw that conflict that was making you feel angry. How do you feel about it right now? I'm at peace because I know that that will be able to resolve itself. It has nothing to do with me. I simply saw something. I wasn't in the story at all. There is nothing about me. It's just something I witnessed through the looking glass of life. And I'm going to make peace with it. I send it love right now, and I'm at peace with it. Good. So through your review, you were successful, right? Rather than getting irritated at the looking glass of life, right? You give it your love, you give it your blessing, and you move on. That's it. So you are rendering that old situation, that conflict, meaningless. It has absolutely no pull on you, no tug on you whatsoever, because you were just looking at it through the looking glass, right? Your television set, your computer monitor right now, your phone, your tablet is a looking glass, okay? And you're looking at these other realities. That's all that's happening. When you turn on your television, when you go on the internet, when you're on your phone, when you're on your tablet, you're looking through a looking glass, okay? And all you're doing is observing these things. You're witnessing these things. Sure, through social media, you can respond in a certain way, but what you're looking at, something that's happening on the other side of the world that you're not involved with whatsoever, you are getting reactionary to something that you are looking at as an observer through a looking glass, okay? Give it your love and let it go and move on, okay? Do not get hooked by the involvement of what you see within the looking glass. It is non-responsive to you. You're watching a video of someone getting hurt, okay? Somebody on the other side of the world, you've never met this person, you've never met the other person that's hurting them, all right? So what you do is you witness that reaction, right? You put everything on pause. You go and you find your private space. You perform the TC technique. And after the TC technique is successful, you are giving love to that situation. May love conquer that situation. May love come to it. You've just given your blessing, and that love is going to have an effect, okay? But you're not concerned about that. You've given it your love. You've looked at it through the looking glass, and you've given your blessing to it. Move on, okay? You are going to see things in this world that are going to shock you. You are going to see these things in these worlds that you know you have absolutely no control of, right? You have to be okay with that. And all you're doing is giving your love and blessing. May the highest good of all rectify and conquer that situation with love. Let it be so. There you go. You've done your part. Now you can move on. And you're not dwelling on that, because now you're playing victim. You're putting yourself in the victim's position. You're not putting themselves in their shoes. You're just pushing them out of the way, and now you're feeling what it's like to be a victim in that situation, right? And that is disempowering, because all you're doing is going into lack again. We don't feed lack, okay? I don't care what the situation is. If you feed lack, you go back to square one again. You go back to your suffering. So when you start to work with love and say, I'm going to bless those people, I'm going to bless that situation, I'm going to give it love, you've done your part. You've done your part. We don't save. We guide. We help. We assist. Okay? We do not save. Okay? The only one you're saving is yourself. So again, we're not getting caught up in those incidences. It's the same thing as if we're dealing with somebody in person here. Okay, if we have an argument with somebody, we know what we're doing. We have to catch ourselves. We have to be the safety net. Okay, if we notice that we're starting an argument with somebody, we pause, we stop, right? And this takes training, right? You got to develop this. Sometimes it's gotten to me too. I admit that. But you have to be the safety net. You have to stop and say, I'm sorry, please excuse me, all right? And now you go on your way in a private space, you do the TC technique, okay? This is why I say it's so incredibly important to do the BCR technique first thing in the morning, because you have your accumulation of love energy like a mountain range inside you, because you've done that. You've made yourself genuinely happy, filled with love, okay? That's your backup, okay? That's your reinforcement. This is why the R is in BCR, okay? It's your reinforcement, it's your love. You got that mountain range of love energy there, right? And you're going to need it throughout your day if you're still going through a lot of lack-based situations. Make it as big as Mount Everest, because these problems are really no more bigger than a baseball, okay? And you are reinforcing your love. You have to catch yourself. You have to train yourself to say, I'm not getting involved with arguments. I'm not going to fight here, because that will bring me back to square one. That'll bring me back into lack again. I don't want to go there, all right? So we are being very, very conscientious about that. Next thing we're going to look into is the black ball technique, okay? So for those of you guys who have tuned into my webcasts, I have done a variation of this when I'm doing distance healing work on people, okay? And again, a very, very helpful technique. Again, this is on my YouTube channel as well, right? If you type in Spirit Drive, the black ball technique, you'll see it come up, all right? But let's do it together now. Hands upon the chest. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. I want you to imagine a black ball contained in the center of your chest. Okay? This black ball functions as the container to all dense black liquid energy contained inside your body. All right? So let's work on the physical body for this example. Okay? So when you did the earlier scan of the meditation, you may have found some areas within your body that were conflicting. All right? So with this black ball right now, inside your chest, I want you to imagine that black roots are coming out through this black ball, and they are connecting into those areas of your body where you found conflict physically, okay? So we connect to those areas of the body. We're feeling the roots wrapping around those areas of conflict, okay? Maybe it's the lungs, maybe it's the heart, maybe it's the shoulders, maybe it's the chest, maybe it's the abdomen, maybe it's the knees, whatever it is, okay? You're just feeling roots going there and wrapping around them, okay? What do we do next? We do the apologetic affirmation, okay? So what is the apologetic affirmation? You can just repeat after me, word after word. This is being recorded, okay? So you can always go back to it if you need to hear it again. I apologize to my body for being neglectful regarding this or these conditions. I ask for my body's forgiveness. I ask for my body's assistance to clear away these conditions and purify them and forgive them through spirit. And so it is. Okay? Very simple. That's all we're doing. We're asking for our body's apology, our body's forgiveness. And therefore, through that apology, through us being repentant, through us being humble to our body is now going to work with us. It's very, very forgiving. It says, of course I'll forgive you. Of course I'm going to work with you. You're my host, right? You're a part of me. So that black liquid energy, now that you're seeing in those areas of deposit, okay, those conflicting areas, you're going to see black liquid energy being sucked up and absorbed through the roots and put into the black ball container. So the black ball container is going to hold all of that black liquid. Yeah, but Brad, what if I have like a lot of black liquid, right? And you're going to see that ball getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It can be as big as a mountain range if you need it to, right? You can hold a mountain range worth of black liquid energy. All right, so all of that energy is being absorbed into the black ball. And once you feel that 100% of all of that black liquid dense energy is put into the ball, you are now going to put up a call to spirit. Okay? You are going to put up a call to the inner self. Put in a call, I would say, right? Rather than put up a call, put in a call. Okay? Put in a call to your inner self, to your inner being, to spirit that resides within you. Okay? So now all of that black liquid is in there. We're ready to let it all go because that's important. We have to make sure that we are able to willingly relinquish 100% of that black liquid energy because some people hold on to it, right? So make sure that you are forgiving, that you're being light. Remember that you're working in love, okay? And love is the key to all forgiveness. So all of that black liquid dense energy is contained inside the black ball. And now we are connecting with spirit. Spirit, I command through your love to completely cancel out, eliminate, neutralize, and purge all of the black liquid dense energy within the black ball, sending it up into source to be purified and forgiven in totality. Apply. Okay? You don't have to do my breath or my snapping my fingers. That's just what I do. Okay? So apply, let it be done. Okay? You're just ending the command. Okay? Amen is good. Namaste is good. Right? Whatever you feel is good. Now you're paying attention to that black ball. Is that black ball empty? Yes. Great. Feel that black ball dissolving away. And now go do a BCR technique. Bring some love energy into yourself. All right? Love energy is going to fill into those pockets to where that dense energy was, that black liquid. Okay? So you're filling it in with love energy. So go do another BCR technique after you do the black ball technique. Okay? So that is the black ball method. See if I can find one of my cards here. Okay. Yeah, here's an example here. So, the 5-minute focus meditation. Now again, this is for kind of intermediate to advanced meditators. All right, I am going to go over the alternative here in a minute as well too. But it's very, very simple. What you want to do is focus your mind on for 5 minutes on something that you want to bring into your life, something very, very beneficial. Okay, it can be absolutely anything you want. If it's a new career, if it's a romance, okay, if it's financial abundance, whatever it is. If it's working with your psychic ability, if it's one upgrading your psychic abilities, advancing it, you can do that as well too. But what you want to do is you want to create an image, okay? You want an image of the focus that you are going to spend 5 minutes concentrating on, okay? It is referred to as the focus image. Now, this is the example, as I'm using image cards here, of the third eye, okay? And as it says here, my inner sight is powerful. My inner sight is clear. My inner sight is open. My inner sight is pure. My inner sight is perfect. Okay? So I've done this to work with my own third eye. Okay? And of course, I have the third eye image right there. Okay? Now, I can stare at that for about a minute, and then I can create that impression of this image as I close my eyes and go into meditation. And I focus on that image for 5 minutes, okay? I can zoom out of it, I can zoom in it, I can kind of rotate around it in that way. What's important is that this is still in the forefront of your mind when you are meditating it for 5 minutes. And you're creating that mantra, right? My inner sight is powerful, my inner sight is clear, my inner sight is open, my inner sight is pure, my inner sight is perfect. And when I've done that, I've been getting some really big third eye visions when that has happened, okay? And I meditate on that for 5 minutes, okay? So if you want to create a timer or something like that, or if you just want to continue to go on past 5 minutes, that's okay too, all right? But we want to have at least those 5 minutes, okay? Like I said, this is for intermediate and advanced meditators, right? So you have to visualize. It's important. Now, if you cannot visualize, and if you are a beginner, then what we are going to do is open-eyed meditation, okay? So we may want to basically put a little piece of tape and put it up against a wall, okay? And if we want to take a cushion or a chair, all right, just making sure that it's level with our eyesight, okay? and we're staring at this symbol for 5 minutes open-eyed. Okay, we're concentrating on that symbol for 5 minutes open-eyed. Okay, open-eyed meditation. And we may want to repeat that little mantra that we've created here. My inner sight is powerful, etc. Okay, and you're repeating that and you're looking at it. Okay, and you're basically starting off with a strong gaze at first, and then after about a minute or so, becomes a soft gaze. Okay, keep your body as still as it can be. Okay, keep a still body. Right. So if you're sitting on a cushion, if you're sitting on a little meditation chair in that way, or just an ordinary chair, okay, keep yourself as still as possible. Don't move. Okay, and that symbol is within your eyesight, right? It's within your focal range. It's within your field of vision. And you're just focusing, concentrating on that symbol for 5 minutes. And if you want to state an affirmation, a mantra, right, behind how you're empowering the 5-minute focus within your mind, my inner sight is powerful, my inner sight is clear, you can do that for 5 minutes. As you do that, whether you're doing it through the natural method or the alternative method, you're going to notice some incredible things happening as you do this day by day by day, okay? I would say give yourself at least 30 days doing this every single day with the 5-minute focus, okay? You are going to see some incredible things come into your life. It's going to be wonderful, right? I can testify to that because it's happened to me on several occasions, right? So again, these are all the practices here all together. Just go back to the recording if you have more, if you need to look at all this again, okay? Let's move on. Step 4 is planning. So next we move on to the planning stage, okay? Create your life foundation circle for a weekly or monthly basis. Make sure you're willing to do what you place in your circle, okay? So this is just an example. This isn't exactly how my week goes, for example, okay? If you guys just need to look at this in full screen, go ahead and make your screen full screen, all right? So I'm going to try and do my best here. I have to make my presentation software here full screen so I can see it quite well. Okay. So again, make sure you're willing to do what you place in your circle. If you think it's out of your reach, do not put it on your life foundation circle, okay? All you're doing is just taking a simple piece of paper, you're drawing a circle, okay? And now you're putting these little dots, these little points around your foundation circle. There's a reason why we use a circle and not a square, okay? Square is finite. Square is more permanent in that way, pertaining to structure, pertaining to walls in that way. A circle has no walls, right? So we can always add to it or we can subtract from it as well too without compromising any form of structure, okay? The circle will always be the circle. So in the example here, as I'm going to go from left to right, one point says, creating a happiness list in my journal that makes me smile. So I will do that on a daily basis, creating a happiness list in my journal with things that make me smile. Second point, immerse myself with nature as much as possible. Connect with the trees and work on nature, communication, and telepathy. Okay, and I've done this as well too, and it's wonderful. Okay. Thirdly, say good morning and thank you to more people each day. Very good thing. Number 4, look into my bathroom mirror, seeing my face and saying, I love you, as many times as possible. It's a great start. It's how I had my beginnings. Number 5, 20 minutes of morning meditation per day. So I do 20 minutes because that's what I feel I can do, okay? Number 6, start a garden and grow my own vegetables, all right? So maybe get a trough, get some dirt, get some soil, and start getting some seeds and start planting, okay? That is unbelievably wonderful. I've had gardens. I know what that feels like. Okay, and number 7, 1 hour of yoga each day, okay? So again, I do not put what I do not feel I can do every single day for this week, okay? So you may want to create a weekly life foundation circle or perhaps a monthly life foundation circle. Or Brad, what about bi-weekly? If you want to. If you want to do bi-weekly, go ahead, right? Well, it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, okay? But you're just creating this foundation circle and you are sticking to it, okay? It is very much your reinforcement of how you are building your foundation again, okay? You are rebuilding your foundation with love. This is the working of the inner self, okay? We are bonding with the inner self. We are becoming the inner self. We are being the inner self. And these are, again, the stepping stones that help us to get there, okay? So that's the planning. It's a very simple thing, right? Just draw a circle, put some points in it, as many points as you want. If you want 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points, whatever you want. As many up to you. This is up to you. This is your creation. So you decide exactly how many points you want to put into that circle, okay? So that is step 4. That is planning. Step 5, repetition. You want to create new positive habits, habits that make you feel wonderful inside, habits to strengthen your inner being and feel the true love and richness of life. Okay, that's all part of reinforcement, bringing the love into yourself. Again, not being caught up by conflicts that you find within the looking glass, right? But looking into yourself and knowing, I am going to be my master. I am going to be my savior, my own savior. I don't need to save anybody else because everybody else is perfect. Okay? And that's the mentality we have. Start off each morning with a BCR technique. All right, like I said, just the example I gave earlier. Get the love flowing, meditate, even if it's just for 5 minutes, to center your mind and reflect within. Add another practice after your meditation if you want, right? Again, you can sort through these things. You can add them up. You can modify things, okay? But as long as you're doing the requirements. 5-minute focus. Achieve the goals you've laid out for yourself, okay? Just like you've observed with the image card. Document. What are your highlights, your day's highlights, okay? Positive or negative. If we have something very negative, we write it down, okay? Be honest. Don't go too much into the story, but just make sure that you have enough within your bullet point or your sentence to say, this was negatively oriented. This is what's happened to me, okay? Look at your plan. What area or areas would you like to focus on today? Make time for it, okay? So you have your plan up on a piece of paper, right? Is there some things that maybe you don't need to do? Maybe you're not ready for. Maybe you don't want to do. You can take those away and you add something new, okay? The circle is always changeable, okay? It is a changeable circle. It does not have to be like that for the entire week. If you feel, okay, I've done this for a couple days, I'm ready to phase it out right now, and I'm going to put this in its place, okay? You can do that. You can modify your life foundation circle, but just make sure you stick with what you are putting on your circle on a daily basis, okay? And repeat, right? So like I said, with your foundation circle, you did yoga for 3 days for an hour. Okay, that was pretty good. I think I'm going to go to 75 minutes right now. So now I'm going to alter that, okay? Or maybe I feel, well, maybe I still need to work on my concentration a little bit more. Maybe I'll bring it down to a half hour. Okay, that's fine. You can do that too. Just stay consistent with what you put up in your life foundation circle. Okay, it's up to you. It's your circle, all right? Okay, next is challenge yourself. What causes us to become better is when we step up our goals and our daily practices up a little bit more, okay? Did you meditate for 5 minutes yesterday? How about 10 minutes today, all right? Do you think you can challenge yourself? Do you think you can go that extra mile, right? Again, you're going at your own pace, but you're challenging yourself. You're seeing how you can do better, okay? Did you do 1 BCR technique yesterday? Well, how about 2 today? Can you do 2 of them, all right? Feels good. Why not? I could do 10 of them. Sounds great. Just make sure you do it. How about writing a little more in your journal today? Okay, you're just doing a lot of point forms and they're very, very small paragraphs. Maybe make them big. Maybe write an entire page in your journal rather than a quarter of a page or half a page. Okay, challenge yourself. Achieve an extra goal in your plan today. All right, put another goal in. Say, okay, I'm just going to honor the trees. I'm going to give the trees a hug. As I walk around my neighborhood, I'll just find myself a nice tree and I'll give it a hug. All right, great. Add things. Challenge yourself more. All right, give yourself challenges. Make yourself a little bit better each and every single day. Okay. The short term, we're building a new foundation, and at first it may seem difficult as we work to clear out lack accumulation. Be strong. Remind yourself why you're doing this. You're ready to start living. You're ready to live as harmoniously as the inner being does. You and the inner self are one. Okay? So you want to remember that. You're not looking at something outside of yourself. This is all within. You're building that new foundation to see who you truly are. It's like working out at the gym. It may seem intense at first, but as you do it more, you develop a practice and you start enjoying it. This is no different, okay? Be ready, willing, and able to change your life and be one with the harmony of the inner self. All right, it's not about going to the gym and thinking that through one session I'll have bulging muscles and I'll be like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. All right. You have to keep going back to the gym. You have to keep building yourself up. All right. It's kind of what I do about 3 times a week is go to the gym. All right. So again, you want to build yourself up. I'm not going to the gym and saying, yep, just today I'm going to have like 24-inch pythons when I'm still working on myself. So again, it's repetition, right? The more that we work with this repetition, we work out in the inner gym, and we are developing ourselves more and more each day, okay? Don't expect instant results. Things can happen quickly, and there can certainly be accelerations, but you have to keep working with it, right? You want that commitment every single day. The long term, that old you, the one who battled with so much lack in the past, they will be gone. A new you will be here. New sympathetic resonance, where you are training yourself to become a resonator of pure love and compassion. All right, new actions, new karma that comes together. You will phase out old habits, addictions, beliefs, emotional imbalances. You will reshape your entire life. That includes what's happening in the world right now, okay? Looking through the looking glass. Love will be your greatest companion. You will expand and see old habits as illusions, ready to be discarded. You will be one with the inner self, loving, happy, compassionate, joyful, balanced. All right? This is, again, the long term. We're not saying, this is going to happen tomorrow. Okay? It's the long term, just like when you're going to a gym. When this happens, you will become a guide, and you will help others achieve what you have. So you notice the key word here, a guide, okay? Not a savior, right? So you are always going to be your own savior, but you are going to become a guide to others. But you're just being that whenever they feel compelled to come to you, right? It's very much like what Jesus says, that I cannot help anybody unless the Father draws them to me, right? And that's the whole idea, is he allowed these people to come to him. They had questions. They had concerns. Jesus was there to help them out. Same with Buddha, okay? Same with the old masters. These people, they were not going around saying, hey, do you need help? Hey, do you need help? Hey, do you need help? Nope. Not once did they ever do that. They were being themselves. They were walking through a town, walking through a village. People came to them. People were drawn to them, all right? And that's all part of synchronicity, right? Synchronicity brings these kind of people to us, because it is a two-way street, okay? We will learn much from them as well, too, as they learn from us. It's always going to be a two-way street of inner process, of inner development, of inner love, right? All of that synchronicity is going to benefit both parties, all right? Okay, everybody, that concludes the guide to inner self-living. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, all right? So I'm going to go back to the camera here. There we go. Like I said, presentation I put together a couple days ago, and it really summarizes what I do on a daily basis with things, okay? I still have fun, guys, right? I'm still on the computer. I still play computer games and all stuff like that. I go out to the gym, and I walk around the park, and I go and get my groceries and everything like that, right? I do all that. I do a lot of the human things each day, right? I'm not constantly on the couch in meditation and full lotus and not doing a single thing, okay? I still have a human life. Right? But you guys, again, are just incorporating this into your human life, right? We're not attempting to not be human, right? We're going to be human, but we're stepping up ourselves, right? Because we are superhuman, right? And this is the whole key of being a superhuman, of being a loving human, of being one with the inner self, one with the Father, one with God, one with the Mother, okay? All right, guys, so I'm just going to go through the live chat here to see if we have any questions. Just so you guys know, I'm not doing any channeling with Adronis today. Okay, this is all just between you and me. All right. Okay, let's go through the list here. Okay. So I'm just kind of looking at some questions that kind of are a little bit relevant in regards to what I was talking about today. Okay. So again, there's things that people bring up, and one of those things are negative entities. Okay, so Brad, what about negative entities? How do they work? They work when you're living in lack. Okay, if you're looking at negatively oriented entities, you're looking at yourself, really. Okay, like I said, you're the only one here. So, as you're the only one here, when you look at all these other aspects of yourself, these are brands, these are facets, these are mirror reflections of yourself. So, as long as you continue to exist in lack, those versions of yourself are going to come through, right? So people will say, oh, I see some negative entities in that space. Well, it's because you're lack, right? You have a lot of lack in yourself. You have a lot of lack in your space. What happens when you start cleaning all of that up? They can't be there anymore. You're operating up here and they're down here. They can't touch you. Okay? This is why I say it's not about protection. Okay? A lot of people will go into protection spells. They'll use protection charms. And that's cute. That's fine. Right? But that's only going to be very, very short term. It's not going to last. Okay? Because whenever you're basically right here, and you say, oh, I got this charm bracelet. I got this crystal. Right? I got this protection spell, etc. Well, guess what they're doing? They're just chiseling away at that little wall of protection that you've done, and now they've got you. Okay? That is not the answer. Love vibration, just like I learned today in the presentation. They have nothing to reach here. You're up here. You're filled with love. They can't see past your light. Their light is too bright. They have to step back. Okay? Because they're not of that frequency. They can't enter that aura of light because you're shining like a star here. And when they feel that, they have to back off. Right? They cannot come into that domain. So what you are doing is learning how to love. Now, one of the human addictions is you're looking for conflict. Okay? We're looking for conflict. So, we look at people that talk about negative entities. We look at people that say, if you don't do this, then you're not going to ascend to the next dimension. We look. As long as you continue to do that, you're in lack. Because you're not letting yourself be the resolution to the situation. Everything happens through you. Right? Oh, this person was saying that if you don't do this and if you don't do that, you're not going to ascend to the next dimension. Ha ha ha, bye-bye. Okay, and how does that affect you? Oh, it made me a little bit scared. All right, then you need to look at that. That's your fear coming in. Okay? So now when you make peace with that fear, just like you learned through the process of this presentation today, you're not afraid of it at all. Right? I'm completely in harmony. I'm expanding myself every single day. Every day I'm expanding a lot more, and I can feel love flowing through. I don't care about dimensions. I don't care about densities. I'm expanding more and more and more and more, and I will go with the flow to where Earth takes me. Because as soon as I see another person in my reality, I'm seeing another reality of myself. Okay? As soon as you see any stimulation coming into your reality, that's another reality. That's a portal. Okay? A person is a portal. Okay? They are a living mirror. They are in their universe and they bring a brand of themselves into you. Right? So a brand of your energy is making that person what they are here to do, to interact with you. As soon as you see another person, see as you feel any form of stimulation in your reality pertaining to dynamism, you're looking at another universe. You're looking at another reality. Okay? That person can never step into your universe. You're the only one here. You can never step into their universe. But what you can do is you can touch the universal fabric together. Okay? And you share an experience. But that person will never be able to step into your shoes and will never be able to live the life that you yourself live. That's not possible. Okay? That's something to understand. Well, Brad, we have physical bodies and I'm here with my wife or my husband and I become intimate with them. Of course you are. Because that's all part of the shared experience. You can have intimacy with the other body in that way, right? but you cannot go into their universe and you cannot create for them, right? So you'll have all these physical touching, you'll have all this physical presence with another person, okay? But you can never go inside their universe and say, hey, I'm going to get you to create this. I'm going to get you to create that. Can't do that, okay? Why? Because we're not in their universe. They're not in ours. We're sharing a plane with avatars, with vessels, with bodies, and we can touch and we can share each other's lives, but we do not create in another person's universe. That's not possible. So whenever a person is giving you this mouthful, if you don't do this and you're not going to ascend, well, how the heck would they know? Right? But again, we're still looking through the looking glass, and now we're emotionally affected by that. What do? We do exactly what we learned in the presentation today, right? We reinforce, we accumulate love, we clean out the lack, okay? Now we just shine. We're like angels, we're shining brightly, and we continue to advance more and more. And we're not concerned about dimensions, we're not concerned about densities, we're not concerned about having to go up into fourth density or any of that stuff, okay? You just keep being yourself, you keep shining your light, and you go with the natural flow to where Earth takes you. You don't care about those things anymore. They're meaningless to you. And that's how you know you're free. The key to a person who is absolutely liberated in this life is they have absolutely no belief systems whatsoever. Right? They have no belief systems at all. Because they have completely set everything free. Only thing that's true to them is God. Right? Is spirit. Is love. Is happiness. That's their true nature. Right? Not identity, but their nature. That's where you can go. But again, it's like the gym. You have to keep going each and every single day and build yourself up. This is a gym for your mind. This is a gym for your soul. Okay? Continue to build that each and every single day. Okay? Just going down the list. Okay, here's another one from Mayra. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Question: how can one deal with grieving for a loved one? The pain of separation is real. Okay, so guys, my stepfather just passed away a couple days ago. Okay, did it bother me? No, I was actually celebrating his passing. Okay, but it was the people around me, family, that were again very saddened by him leaving this world. Okay, for me, that's not a sad time. I celebrate when a person returns back to the Father. When they return back to spirit, when they go back to paradise, when they become perfect, right? They go back into their perfect spirit, they go back into paradise, they go back to the Father. That's perfect to me. I got to celebrate that, okay? And I realize that there are people in the world that do not see it that way. So what is it that we are grieving for? Why do we grieve? Do you know why you grieve? You don't grieve for that loved one who's left you. You're grieving for yourself because you're feeling that you're left behind. All right? And that comes down to sadness. You are sad because you feel that you're being abandoned. You're feeling you're being left behind. That loved one gets to go back to heaven, gets to go back to paradise, gets to be with the Father, and I'm staying here. And I got to be here in this physical world. But here's what you don't realize. You're still in contact with that loved one. You are now developing yourself through everything that you have learned through this presentation today to be filled with love and to use that love to build rapport, to build relationship with that loved one who has passed, right? I basically, when I heard about my stepfather passing, I went right into his energy and he was uplifted. He had his angels all around him. He had his loved ones all around him. He was feeling great happiness, great joy. He did not suffer at all. And I was happy for him, right? There was no grief within myself at all. Didn't feel any. I was celebrating. Where there was a little bit of angst was how I was feeling other people, right? My mother, for example, feeling her grief, her loss with her husband, right? And all I did was bless her soul because that's all I can do. She has to get through this herself, right? That's really how it comes down to. Because if I was to basically go up and say, oh, my mom's broken, so I need to go fix her, well, then what have I become? I've become arrogant and ignorant. because I feel that somebody else has been broken. No, I just share my love. I share my love in saying blessings to that soul now because they have returned to paradise. They have returned to perfection. And I'm more than happy for them. I celebrate that. And again, with the others that are grieving, all I do is just put love around them, bless their soul, love them. May their ignorance die away, and may their truth shine brightly like the sun within themselves. All right? And that's all I do. So again, if you are grieving, it's only because you feel you're being left behind. It's sadness. You got to get over that. You got to transcend that, because that person is not gone. Nobody ever dies. This physical body will die, okay? Here's something that might shock you guys. At some point, you're going to die, okay? At some point, your physical body is going to croak, okay? Abraham Hicks talks about this all the time. She makes fun of it as well, too. So when Jerry croaked, when this person croaked, okay? Why do you think they do that? Because the idea of what we believe death is a joke, okay? It's not real. It is not real. What is real is your feelings, okay? So you create that feeling of mourning because you feel like you're being left behind, and you feel that you may never be able to talk to that person again. That is a lie, all right? And you're believing a lie created out of lack, because you have not felt what it's like to fully accumulate pure love into yourself, and you're shining this light so brightly, and all you have to do is go inward and ask for your loved one to come, and they will come, and you will feel them, right? This is why some of us are actually feeling the loved one around us, but we just make it up and say, oh, maybe that's just my own imagination. Maybe that's just my mind playing tricks on me. No, there is a genuine contact there, but you are too much in the state of lack that you can't see it. Don't make yourself blind, because that's what lack does. So go to this recording again, really pay attention what's being shared, and accumulate love into yourself. Love opens all doors of reality. Love opens up the gateway to the universe. Love brings you in contact with the pure essence of creation itself, but you have to accumulate it. If you are in lack, you will never experience that. So what does that mean, Meira? Let go of your lack. Stop feeding the beast. Over here. Turn your head. Here's love. Remember how much I said, how easy it is? How simple it is when you neutralize yourself, right? How hard it is to bring in lack, and how simple it is to bring in love. You have to do the work. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. As you do the work, you will expand yourself. You will become greater. You will become better, right? Because now you're seeing things that you didn't even think existed. And this is what I have been able to witness as I do this work. I'm seeing more aspects. I'm seeing more clarity that the universe is providing me every day I could never see before when I was in lack, right? For a person who has done this work, this is exactly what happens, okay? And it's just about you getting on your side and doing the work because you're committed to it. Your sympathetic resonance says, I'm going to do this. So resonance follows, then the techniques, okay? Thank you for your question. Okay. So Kai says, question, could you share with us your understanding of what God realization is? Do we need the yogic techniques to achieve this state? Ramtha says that he never practiced anything and yet became it. Exactly. Again, guys, you are going into the intellectual mind of feeling that you need some type of yogic tradition or some type of technique or some type of indoctrination to realize that you are God, all right? Now, even Jesus went through his own realizations to know that he was the Son of the Most High, the Son of the Father in that way, all right? Buddha, yes, he did practices, he worked with ascetics in that sense, but again, it was through his own will that he understood the questions that he was seeking, that he got the answers, and he reached Buddhahood, okay? It is not about indoctrination. Now, some people can get there that way. Some people do not. Again, you guys are painting a solid road and thinking that everybody has to walk that path. Everybody has to be a yogi so that they can be realized. No. Guys, I'm not a yogi. And I realize that I am God. Okay? I do not do any of the yogic practices. I haven't gone into an ashram. Okay? I have not been initiated by a yogi in any way. I have followed my path purely through spirit. I understand a lot of what they're saying, because what I have stumbled across, I'm seeing this is exactly what the yogis are saying as well too. There's similarities there. All right? But I've never gone to a yogi. I've never gone to India. I've never gone into an ashram. Right? And I never needed to do any of those forms of indoctrinations for me to realize that I am God, because I am God. All right? You guys are God as well too, but you don't know it. So what you do is you continue to work with spirit every single day. You still have a human life. Okay? That doesn't go away. But you realize in the greatest understanding, you are God. Okay? So, Kai, I didn't need to go into yogic philosophy. I didn't need to go into yogic indoctrination. I didn't need to go across the world and find a teacher and stay at an ashram. Didn't do any of those things. Okay? Look at me now. All right? So that's giving you an idea here. We put too much assumption and too much tradition. We think like robots. And thinking, okay, well, there's a path, so this is what Buddha must have done, and this is what Jesus must have done, and this is what Krishna must have done, this is what Mahavatar Babaji must have done, etc. And so I got to do exactly what they do. No. You are your own unique person, right? You are a unique soul. You follow what is genuine to yourself. I haven't done anything that Buddha has done or Jesus has done in that way. I respect them to the highest degree that I can even portray, right? But I do not follow the type of work that they have done, right? They can only follow that particular path themselves. That work is their work. It can never be anybody else's, right? You cannot look at this like it's a craft, okay? Where you're saying, okay, well, you can become an apprentice carpenter. Here's your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s about how to be a carpenter, okay? That's a technicality, okay? You cannot rely on technicality and believe yourself to move yourself into realization, because realization has nothing to do with technicality. Okay? This is why I say the intellectual mind is useless when it comes to realization. Realization comes through your soul. It comes through your heart. It comes through your being. You simply know that you are God. Okay? I don't care how many indoctrinations or anointed ceremonies you've done, right? Or basically being initiated in that way. Don't care, because that's not what's going to help you to realize God. It is your own being. It is through your own realization. It is through your own knowingness, through your own experiences of realizing, I'm God. I'm God. I could be reading a newspaper one day, right? All of a sudden I have this incredible thought. I put the newspaper down. I'm God. All this guy did was read a newspaper. So do we just start picking up newspapers and just start reading the newspaper because then we'll realize that we're God? You see how that becomes absurd? Again, it's a monkey see, monkey do mentality that we have. This is the monkey see, monkey do programming. Okay? Buddha achieved enlightenment under a banyan tree. So I better go find a banyan tree because that's what happened to Buddha, all right? Jesus was in a desert for 40 days and 40 nights. Well, I better get packing into a desert and stay there for 40 days and 40 nights and try to commune with God just like Jesus did. Monkey see, monkey do. Wrong. All right? You have to discover your own unique path. You have to be authentic to yourself, right? I realized it in my own way. Through meditation. Yes, I have realized it. Through my work, my inner practices, I have realized it. But I didn't go under a banyan tree, and I didn't go in a desert for 40 days and 40 nights. All right? So again, this is where we have to rely upon the uniqueness of ourselves, rather than feeling that we have to be copycats and that we have to do monkey see, monkey do. This is why, again, a lot of the meditators will say it's a monkey mind. It's a monkey brain. And all it wants to do is just say, oh, what did this person do? What did this person do? What's the technicality they did? Oh, they did this technicality. I guess I have to do it too as well, too. I got to find a banyan tree. I got to go out in the desert. Blah, 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 blah. And their head literally spontaneously combusts. Right? So, please be unique to yourself. Let your own unique journey speak for itself. Okay? That's what's important. Thank you for your question. Okay, yeah, if you guys are wondering, this is the Youth Body t-shirt, okay? And I feel great with it, right? Because I've already done a lot of youth body practice, so it's a complement to that energy. It's on healingcoachshop.com, but again, I'm not here to do announcements today. That will be happening on Monday. Monday, I'm going to be doing a special class, okay, a Q&A live stream, and I'll have announcements there as well, too. So my special shirt I'm wearing today. I feel great. All right. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up for now. Thank you so much, everybody, for being part of this presentation. Please watch this again. Please share this around as well, too. Right? A lot of people are wondering what they can do at this time. Please tell them about a guide to the inner self being. All right? To the inner self living, I should say. A guide to inner self living. Tell them about this video. Share this video around. Okay? And hopefully it helps a lot of people. But even if it doesn't matter, because everybody's perfect anyways. Everybody is exactly where they need to be. But nonetheless, this video is a tool that can help you if your substance, if your essence, if your radiance brings you to do so. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and I'll speak to you again in another perspective of the now.